The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Carl Jung. It starts subtly. You see her across the room. A glance, a smile, a spark. And without realizing it, something inside you shifts. Your mind begins plotting. Your emotions tangle. Your focus slips. You tell yourself it's harmless. Just a little attention. Just a little pursuit. But Carl Jung would tell you this is the first step toward surrendering your masculine essence. Chasing women is not romance. It's a psychological trap. A silent, invisible theft of the man you were meant to be. Here's why. When a man chases, he confuses desire with purpose. He begins to center his world around someone else's attention. Every thought, every action, every ounce of energy shifts toward approval. And in that shift, he loses something fundamental, himself. Jung described the masculine psyche as a structure of inner stability. It is built on self-awareness, purpose, and confrontation with the unconscious. It thrives on independence, challenge, and mystery. It collapses under neediness, validation-seeking, and obsession with external desire. And chasing is the ultimate test of collapse. Think about it. Every text you send before she responds, every effort to impress her, every compromise you make to fit what you think she wants. You are no longer acting from your center. You are acting from projection. Not hers, yours. The projection of what you believe will earn you acceptance. Jung warned that projection is a theft of reality. It replaces the truth with illusion. And chasing women trains men to live in that illusion. It convinces them that their value is dependent on external recognition, not internal sovereignty. Imagine a man standing alone at the edge of a cliff. The wind is fierce, the darkness deep. Below him is the void of uncertainty. That man is the masculine psyche in its pure form, grounded, alert, alive. Now imagine that same man turning his attention constantly toward someone else, someone outside the cliff, someone whose presence dictates his balance. Every gust of wind becomes a threat. Every step feels unstable. That is what chasing women does. It destabilizes the very foundation of masculinity. And yet society teaches men the opposite. From adolescence, boys are conditioned to seek approval. Be nice. Be agreeable. Be available. But in the world of Jungian psychology, availability is not strength. Predictability is not magnetism. Compliance is not masculinity. Chasing women teaches men that submission equals acceptance, that bending equals connection, that compromise equals love. And this is a trap. Because the feminine, according to Jung, is drawn to mystery, independence, and challenge, not dependence. A man who bends, pleads, and seeks validation is invisible. He is the background, not the center. He is replaceable, predictable, disposable. This is why chasing is destructive. It slowly erodes identity. It fractures self-respect. It conditions men to rely on external validation for emotional survival. Jung called this process a form of psychological enslavement. A man who seeks approval is no longer a man. He is a reflection of someone else's desire. Let's explore projection further. Every woman you chase has an inner masculine archetype, the animus. When mature and integrated, the animus helps a woman relate to men with balance, insight, and respect. But when immature or unchecked, the animus projects fantasies onto men. Invisible roles, scripts, and expectations. And when a man chases, he plays along. He performs the part she has unconsciously written. He bends, reshapes, sacrifices himself to fit a character that doesn't exist in reality. Chasing trains men to live as actors, not as individuals, not as sovereign beings, but as puppets in someone else's play. And here's the tragic part. The more a man performs, the less he is truly seen. The attention he seeks is fleeting. The approval he craves is conditional. The affection he desires is based on illusion. And when the projection collapses, as it inevitably does, the man is left empty, confused, and bitter. He believes he failed. He believes he did something wrong. But the truth is simple. He was never playing a real game. He was performing in a fantasy of someone else's making. Jung warned that the only path to reclaiming masculinity is through individuation. Individuation is the lifelong journey of becoming whole within yourself. It is the confrontation with your unconscious. It is the excavation of your shadows. It is the brutal process of standing alone, unafraid, unshakable, and fully present in your own being. It is the exact opposite of chasing. A man who pursues individuation does not seek validation. He does not bend to projections. He does not perform for approval. He becomes complete on his own. And here's the paradox. Such a man is the one women are naturally drawn to. Not because he needs them, not because he pleads for attention, but because he exists fully and authentically. Chasing teaches the opposite. It teaches dependence. It teaches weakness. It teaches that approval is life itself. And that is why chasing women destroys the masculine psyche. Because the masculine cannot survive on projection alone. It cannot thrive in neediness. It cannot endure when identity is compromised. Jung described the masculine as a structure of integrity. It is forged in challenge, solitude, and self-discipline. It is anchored in purpose, not performance. And chasing women slowly dissolves that anchor. Think of it like this. A tree growing in the wind becomes strong as it bends naturally. A tree bent artificially, forced into shape by external pressure, will break when the first storm comes. Chasing is that artificial bending. It forces the masculine into forms dictated by someone else. And when reality resists, when the fantasy dissolves, the psyche fractures. Here's another angle. Chasing teaches emotional dependency. A man who chases believes his happiness, his identity, his value depends on her responses. Every smile becomes a dopamine hit. Every rejection feels like annihilation. Every pause in communication triggers anxiety. This is the destruction of sovereignty. The masculine psyche thrives on autonomy, purpose, and self-possession. Chasing trades all three for fleeting illusions. And Jung was clear. The path to freedom is brutal. You must face yourself. You must confront your shadows. You must stop relying on external validation. You must embrace solitude, uncertainty, and the unknown corners of your mind. Only then do you reclaim your masculine psyche. Only then do you become a man who cannot be seduced by projection. Only then do you become the center of your own reality. And paradoxically, when you achieve this, the feminine energy will be naturally drawn to you. Not because you need her, not because you chase, but because you do not. Because you are whole, Jung said, "A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them." Chasing women is that inferno without the transformation. It burns you, but leaves nothing gained. It exhausts energy, erodes identity, and teaches dependence. True masculinity, Jung explained, is not given. It is claimed. Through confrontation, discipline, solitude, and purpose, through self-mastery, not approval-seeking. Through existence, not pursuit. Every man who chases is robbing himself of this potential. Every man who chases is surrendering the very thing Jung considered sacred, his sovereignty, his core, his masculine essence. So what is the solution? Stop chasing. Start becoming. Face your shadows. Stand alone. Build your life, your purpose, and your identity from the inside out. And when you do, the feminine energy will find you, not as an object of desire, not as someone to perform for, but as a whole, grounded, authentic man. No masks, no scripts, no illusions, just truth. And that is the lesson Carl Jung left for men. Your masculinity was never hers to give. It was always yours to claim. So stop running after validation. Stop chasing illusions. Stop performing in someone else's script. Walk the difficult path of individuation. Face yourself. Reclaim your mind. Reclaim your power. And finally, stand free. If this hit you, stop chasing illusions. Like, comment, and share with a man who needs to reclaim his power. Subscribe now. Your masculine psyche was never hers to give. It's yours to claim.